trends. This time, hey, do what we do best, and that's run the football.
Second down and 5. Blocked by Wills, off to Chubb, blocked by Frohold, into the secondary. Breaking tackles, slipped right by Campbell. Finally taken down by Josh Bynes. Hunt and Chubb are in. Second and 9. Up the middle it goes, and they've got the fullback tight end, Harrison Bryant.
Left Brown open.
Now 2 running backs are receivers on a 1st and 10. They go underneath, and this is caught by Njoku. You talked about him moments ago. Carries a defender on his back, Chuck Clark, inside the 20. Brissett guns one down to the 8 and caught by Njoku. On him was 2 tight ends. 4th and 1. Brissett, who takes a lot of these himself, on the quarterback sneak, and right now, 2nd and goal at the 2 with Chubb. Peoples-Jones in motion. Chubb got it, touchdown, just like that. Knifes his way in for 2. And the Browns have made an early and distinct statement here in Baltimore.
He's going to be the guy that has to shadow him and go sideline to sideline, trying to keep him from the big plays.
It's Gus again. Oh, look at him take it. Over the right side on the hash into the 44. And he's going deep, and he's got his receiver. What a catch made by Duvernay on the rookie Martin Emerson. Drop play, big hole. Edwards into the secondary. Hit first by Delpit.
This first drive ends with a field goal attempt.
All-Pro Justin Tucker, 35-yarder, perfect, and it's 7-3, 32-yard field goal. After the field goal for the Ravens, 1st and 10.
180.
Fake to Chubb. Blocked by Conklin, going deep, and he's got him! Amari Cooper out of bounds, forced there by Stone. Big time connection. Put him at the 20-yard line. Chubb remains, 2nd down, 15. Blocked by Wills here, crumbling pocket. There's the pass, Njoku, met by Queen, bulldozing his way to the 15. That's a gain of 10.
There's nobody back here. They want to take a shot.
Brissett will go the other way, hit and grab and sacked by Kyle Hamilton. First NFL sack, the rookie out of Notre Dame, a number 1 choice.
They bring them both off the right side.
Cade York on a 41-yarder to extend the lead, and does. 10-3, the Browns, who have scored on their first 2 possessions. Wind at the back of the Cleveland punter. This is the number 2 punt return unit in the NFL. Duvernay from the 32. He's got a block from Harrison. Breaking tackles along the way, and there he goes. Also got a block from Likely, the tight end. He had an entourage. They put the ball somewhere inside the 15, we think, or maybe the 20.
You're blocking against the Browns, now setting up a 3rd medium.
Drake is in. You just saw the offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. Here they come with the blitz, and he has to throw it away. Heavy pressure. And it's 10-6.
Completing just over 50% of his passes against the Giants. So far today, just 2 of 5.
Clowney back in, 3rd and 11. Here comes Myles Garrett spinning, hitting. There's the throw, and it's caught. There's Bateman spinning. Look at the dent he can put on a defense and out of bounds. And knocked right there out of play by Greedy Williams. Jackson through the air, 3 of 6. He takes it here, break and run tackle. Oh, he's as slippery as a raindrop as he gets down.
These last 3 weeks.
5 defensive backs, 2nd down, 6. Stanley the block, and downfield they go. Isaiah Likely. He's the tight end, working his way to the 17. Tackled by Deion Jones. Boy, they can be deep, can't they, at that back position? Dobbins out today. Time for Lamar. Blocked by Moses. Here comes Wright. There goes Jackson. Pump faking, driving out of bounds inside the 10. Walking the tightrope and taking it down to the 7. Edwards in the backfield, Ricard the block. There he goes for 6. And the Ravens have their first lead today on a 7-yard touchdown run by Gus Edwards.
just dove in front of him and was able to bring it in.
Second down 3, and he's right on the money. And again, the stiff arm by Njoku. He goes right into Clark and then brought down with help from Bynes.
Still have 2 timeouts in their pocket.
Njoku, 6 carries or catches and 68 yards. That was close, and Cooper got the ball right in front of Peters. With Hunt, 1st and 10. 2 Cleveland timeouts. Brissett looking long, pressured pocket, got away from Oweh, and finally brought down on the play by Justin Houston. They got Hunt in the backfield. Hunt will release. Brissett. Oh, knocked away! That's a fumble! Campbell knocked it away! Recovered by Oweh! It's a turnover! The first! And Baltimore will have the ball at the 25 of the Browns. Justice Hill is the back. The fake, and here comes Lamar Jackson. A block in there by Powers and run out of bounds. A couple guys are on his tail, including Delpit. Fake. It's Jackson. He broke 1 tackle. And then around his waist, he's got Ronnie here. 9 red zone receptions, 2nd most in the NFL. Jackson caught, slant, Bateman. Gain of 4 just outside the goal line, wheeling his way there. Edwards, Ricard will lead the way. Touchdown. 1-yard touchdown by Gus Edwards. That is his 2nd today. Calais Campbell was in there to bring some extra meat. They've lost 3 in a row. Here's a 2nd and 9. Good block by Conklin. Coming back was Peoples-Jones, who was hit on the play by Marlon Humphrey. And he got down inside the 30 and picks up 7.
Ravens have had success bringing pressure.
Fake to Hunt. Shovel past Njoku. And looks like he's got the first as a... And he goes short and underneath, and Peoples-Jones goes to the 19. Wind from the near side to the far at about 8 miles an hour. Got it. It's 20-13, and Baltimore's lead is cut. Clowney taking a breather. Wright is in. Here comes Garrett. There goes Ricard in the screen pass. Taki tries to knock him down from behind, and it's out to the 44-yard line. A flag is thrown. 19-yard catch and run.
Things are about to get exciting here.
Cleveland has blown a couple of double-digit leads. Here comes Gus. Oh, he's slippery as he takes it into the secondary and up to the 43. Hit by Del against the blitz. 2nd down and 10. The pump fake and the handoff. And here comes the elusive Justice Hill. Close to a 1st down. And Andrews has it. Pitches out to Lamar. Good block by Hill. Did you see the block by Hill? Woo! And Jones drives him out of bounds. Drives him out of bounds near the 38. A 12-yard run.
Actually, a good job by Lamar to not lose that football with the free guy coming in there.
Clowney back in 3rd and 7. Blocked by Stanley through the hands of Bateman, and the coverage on the play by Martin Emerson. So here comes Tucker. He was hitting him from 59 at this end before the game. 55-yard field goal. Tucker, it is perfect. 62 straight. Chubb in the backfield, 1st and 10. Brissett to Chubb, blocked by Bryant. Here goes Brissett on the move, and he's got the first, it looks like, on the slide. Thank you, Mel. They just gave him the 1st down on a readjusted spot. Chubb on 1st and 10. And being brought down by Marlon Humphrey, who runs him out of play.
With no David Njoku, no Pharaoh Brown. The Browns' 4th most use of double tight ends or more as Nick Chubb gets going on another big run.
Here he goes, and Froholt will push him for another yard and another gain of 11. It's caught by Cooper, who gets down with a grab by Peters of 11 yards to the 30, and another 1st down for Cleveland.
This is just Cooper. Matter just going. He's up at the top of your screen. It's just a curl route. You're right. You go up, you push it like you're going to go deep. Doesn't need to come back to the ball. Would have been. But instead, he secures the catch and picks up the 1st down.
Chubb. Good-looking block by Bitonio. That opens the door. Here comes Chubb. Inside the 10. Down by 10. 4th quarter. Hunt. Bitonio a block. Bryant a block. diving to the 2. Kareem Hunt.
When you're not able to pick up the yardage that he did, excellent effort by Hunt.
Second down goal, blocked by Posick, and a touchdown for Kareem Hunt from 2 yards away. Posick with the block, and the Browns have gotten on the board again on their second touchdown run of the day. Mason Crosby was having troubles. Anyway, he's with Cleveland, redeems himself right there. It's 1st and 10 after the kickoff, 25. Stanley the block, and it goes underneath, and Bateman will dive to the 32, hit by Phillips, and brought down there on a gain of 7 for Baltimore. Card, block over there by Andrews. Out of bounds he goes, and again, it's Phillips ushering him out of play. He's got the first down just beyond the 45, and a pickup, a catch and run of 10. Andrews has gone to the backfield. He'll get the call on 3rd and 1. Pyle driving his way in. That is his second carry of the season.
Trying to get a field goal to try and tie things up.
3rd time on this drive, 3rd and 1. Here comes Jackson. He'll take it himself. He almost skipped by a defender, but he gets the first down. Captures the first down to the 23 and a run of 10.
Well, and I just was going to say at some point in time the Browns got to consider taking some timeouts, and they take a timeout.
From the 24. Run by Hill, dancing in there, gets by Thomas, cuts back, fumble the ball! Cleveland has got it! Cleveland has gotten the ball on the fumble by Hill! And picked up by rookie Isaiah Thomas. Flag thrown at the 28. Oh, they get around Wills, but he's going deep, and he's got him! Peoples-Jones has got the ball! And Brissett, 19-23, brings it in. Chased on the play by Washington. Down the side, he's got his receiver, and that's Bell. 3rd and 12 with Hunt in the backfield by Brissett. Conklin the block. Oh, they get by Wills, and again he escapes. He's a magician. Look at him go inside the 40. For the tie. No! Third and 7. No timeouts and 7 seconds to go. It's Brissett. And he goes down the middle, and it's caught by Peoples-Jones and knocked away on the play, and a fumble, and Geno Stone will close the door, and Baltimore has survived and beaten Cleveland 23-20.